What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys a lot of gameplay from some super sweaty matches that I've had over the past several days. And ultimately the goal of this video is to help you prepare for when you're in these scenarios when you're going up against really good players. And you also have to understand that someone being a really good player doesn't always mean that they're a really nice or respectable person. And they may play scummy, they may even play downright unfair, and I'll show you a little bit of that as well. So part of playing well under those circumstances means that you specifically and deliberately need to keep your emotions in check, because they can make you reckless and they can make you play way more aggressive than you need to. So here, right here, this is one of those super sweaty matches. We're talking Sunsingers and Blade Dancers that are blinking, shotgunning, and using thorns and last words and all kinds of burn effects, and it's just super obnoxious to play against. It honestly is. It's not dirty playing. Those things are all in the game. You can use them for sure, but man, it's just super tough to play against, pretty obnoxious to play against. So this first moment that I want to break down from this gameplay is this one that you just saw. So basically they're getting a revive over here. I'm hard scoped. I want to catch one kind of just running out of head level. But notice he jumps as soon as he gets in the open, and then he blinks. So first thing you have to understand is that these guys can close gaps fast. I mean super freaking fast. You have to anticipate it, be ready for it, and know how to react when they do. So I know I got my super up, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and drop it on this guy. And as I do, notice that I rotate the third-person camera while I'm supering. I know I'm going to get this kill, but the reason I do that is because now I can place this next guy. He can't see me yet. He knows where I am, obviously, but I rotate the camera so that I can see exactly where he is, so I know where to place my sights. Then I'm able to get the double kill as I come out of the super. Now the third guy pushes up on me, but now he's going 1v2. I'm calling out his location to my teammates. Then they're able to push up and get my revive. Now notice that I don't force the respawn. You never want to force the respawn in 3v3s, especially in sweats. Every 50 points counts. Then when I come out of the revive animation, I'm able to assist with another kill. So here, this is a different instance. One of the things that you never want to do is just approach a sightline the exact same way that your teammates are doing. Because when you all line up like that, you're pretty easy pickings, you're just asking for a multi-kill. So what I tend to do is I look at how my teammates are set up. This is something you can do even when you go into Crucible solo and you're going against good players. Just look at what your teammates are doing and don't mimic it, don't do the exact same thing, but try to think about how you can complement what they're doing in a different way. So you see what I did was I created a new sightline. I jumped up and used the Bellicose just to get a little bit more creative. And I was able to help team fire, get an assist to get one of the opponents down. That's just kind of what you got to do. Think about what your teammates are doing and how can you complement that. So you'll see we actually just took the lead right here, and now we're trying to maintain it. We're trying to keep control. We only have a minute left of the match, so right now we're just making all kinds of call outs. And you'll see what that guy did is he was actually doing what a lot of solid players do, and that's sit at corners so that they can go into third person and peek around corners. But he didn't realize that I could still see him. And my teammates couldn't, but I had a different angle on him, so I was able to get the snipe on him while he was sort of exposed. So we come out on top in that one, and we end up going back into orbit, and then we get match made against these same guys, but they picked up a different third person to try and contest us. So we're going against these same guys. They come at us super hard, super fast. I get double grenaded, and they just get a team wipe here. And a couple of them are actually teabagging and punching the corpses and the orbs and whatnot, and just being really scummy. And so now we're like, we didn't really want to play these guys again. We didn't really feel like being sweaty at this moment. And these aren't even the guys that I normally sweat with. They're just friends of mine that I usually play casually with. So at this point, we're down 5 kills, and what ends up happening is they wave off the heavy. And so we respond, yeah, we'll wave it off. They're a full team of 3, we're a full team of 3, so we trust that, if they initiate the wave, we're fine. So we pull away from the heavy ammo box, but they go and they pick up not one, but both of the heavy ammos and end up using them against us. They heavy troll us, which in my opinion, that's low, that's scummy, that's dirty, that's cheap, and, that's not etiquette. And so at this point, not a lot gets me salty, but at this point in the match, I was angry. I was playing mad, so I turned it up. I was like, all right, guys, you know what? I had actually made a sort of pact for myself in the past where I said, you know what? I will not sweat against people who play unsportsmanlike, people who teabag. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to play competitively with these types of folks. So at this point, I tell my teammates, all right, let's just pull back and let's make some solid call-outs, let's make some solid plays, and let's take the lead. And I'm like, you know what, we're going to do them the biggest disservice ever. We're going to do them the biggest dishonor that we can do, and that is take the lead and don't give them the chance to beat us. We'll just go to orbit, because I don't want to play against people who play scummy. So right here, I go ahead and decide I'm going to drop the super on this guy. They pushed up with all their rockets, and you know, I wanted to keep this spawn because this spawn favors my play style. The opposite spawn is really easy to get trapped in, and those AoE grenades can just be brutal, and blink shotgunning can completely crap on you. So I wanted to keep this spawn. That's why I decided to go ahead and drop that super. And then now we're just controlling choke points, and I've got my sniper out, and I'm just going to start going to work. And that's exactly what I do. You know, I start looking down these choke points and catching guys trying to come through. One of them, they actually decided to go for the relic, which was surprising because they hadn't been playing the salvage relic at all, which is kind of surprising that they were even in this playlist because they weren't playing the objective. They just wanted to, I think that essentially they were just trying to pub stomp folks. And salvage is a playlist that people tend to do that in. But anyways, I get myself a nice 5 kill streak here. We take the lead. And I'm like, yep, that's it. We're headed out of here. We're going to take our lead. We're going to leave. Not even going to give them the option. And I'm sure that got under their skin. But and then I went back and just looked at the scoreboard. I managed to pull out a 2.0 KD against these guys once I got into the position where I was playing angry. So anyways, I did end up looking up those guys' stats out of curiosity afterwards. And yeah, a couple of these guys are really freaking good players. We're talking well above 2.0 KDs. Not that that's a clear indicator of skill, but they obviously sweat often and check their their trials records, and very, very solid players. So I was pretty happy to come out on top in both of those matches. And yeah, just remember some of those things. Talking about even small things like rotating your third-person cameras when you get the chance, like when you're supering, just so you can line up the next kill. Looking at what your teammates are doing and trying to complement it. That's a huge part of coming out on top in really, really sweaty matches, because it's the team that works together that wins together. And I've learned that by playing with some players that are super team oriented. I mean, KJ Hovey, for example, is a guy who just instinctually does this, sees what his teammates are doing and responds accordingly. And playing with him sort of has helped me because I was always a lone wolf player. I mean, in Halo 3, that's what my first 50 was Lone Wolves. And so I really developed habits early on of just playing like a solo player. And I can play well as a solo player, but I can't 1v3 a great team. So I have to start forcing myself to think about what my teammates are doing and how I can complement them. And lastly, don't forget to use all of what you have available to you, like grenades, and using your special and primary weapons in conjunction, switching back and forth often. If you watch good players, you will always see they are constantly flipping back and forth between weapons and trying to assess which one is the best call for any specific scenario. So starting with the special there to prime, and then closing the gap with my primary. And I think one of the best community examples of that, and if I could give you some homework, I would say go watch some real Crafty, because Crafty, if you watch his gameplay, you'll see him do this all the time, where he will prime with a special or a grenade, and then he will use his cover, like this box right here, to close gaps and finish them off with his primary. It's something that he's fantastic at. He closes gaps like nobody's business, and he sees all the cover that's available to him, and he makes solid use of it just instinctually. So I would say watch some of his gameplay, and you can pick up on some of that too. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I will catch you in the Crucible.